Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week. In our world, there are around 9 million species of animals. And, naturally, these animals vary from each in aspects of their size, strength, and way of living. In order to describe and analyze all the species in our world, scientists will still require hundreds or more years. Although we common people may feel like we know a lot about the creatures on the planet, considering their overall numbers, we actually know a lot less than we think. Number 10. The pink fairy armadillo. Well, don't mistake the pink fairy armadillo for having the ability to grant you wishes, but the pink fairy armadillo is indeed cute in a distinctive way. Excluding its tail, this specific species of armadillo generally weighs less than half a kilogram or a pound and has a height of 90 to 115 millimeters, or 3.5 to 4 inches in length. They are the only species of armadillo with its dorsal shell practically separated from its body. You can find them residing in the dry grasslands of sandy plains of central Argentina. Being excellent diggers, the sandy environment works suitably for them. When in a threatening situation, the pink fairy armadillo can totally bury itself. Their diet, mostly prioritizing ants over anything else, also consists of worms, plant matter, and snails. Sadly, due to the increasing destruction of their habitat, the number of pink fairy armadillos is falling, and they have been categorized as threatened since 1970. Number 9. The blue dragon. Being a part of the nudibranch family, blue dragons are a group of mushy body mollusks. They are also known commonly as sea slugs. Even though they seem to look like the left-behind descendants of some alien creatures, these peculiar creatures are 100% earth-bred. They are not much different from the average garden snails that we find. In fact, the blue dragon is a lot more colorful, and they can be poisonous. So best not to touch them. But blue dragons do have very fascinating visuals. They also look like an alien dragon winging through the water on their glowing tendrils called ceratas when they are fully extended. They typically grow up to 3 centimeters or 1.2 inches long and lay their eggs on floating masses. To float on water surfaces, blue dragons swallow air and hold it in their stomach. A group of blue dragons drifting together is known as a blue fleet. These blue fleets often wash shorewards and can sting humans swimming in the water. Number 8. Pacu. The pacu looks like a fish with human teeth. It is an odd-looking creature from the Amazon, from a large family of freshwater fish associated with the piranha. Although few species of pacu do look similar to piranhas, in reality, they are herbivores and a really peaceful species of fish. To point out one of the most primary differences between a piranha and a pacu is that the teeth of piranhas are triangular and very sharp, whereas the pacu's teeth are more human-like and square-shaped. Many people love to keep these fish as pets. Pacus do sometimes build up personalities as they age, and then can even recognize their owners. Due to this unique behavior, pacus are a famous choice among aquaria lovers. However, just don't randomly go to any fish store and bring one home. An adult pacu can grow over 76 centimeters or 30 inches long, and thus will later need to be kept in a big tank or pond. Number 7. The slow loris. Slow loris are primates that are found in the tropical dry forests of Asia. Their appearance includes a round head, tiny ears, short legs and arms, and a tail. This look overall makes them seem quite like teddy bears. The slow loris is an omnivore, which means that it mostly eats tree sap and insects. When they find any prey in sight, they lunge forward with their body and front legs, holding their victim in the rigid grip of the front paws. When the slow loris sleeps, it curls up into a ball-like shape, but remains latched onto a branch. Although people may find the slow loris cute, it is important to know that they have a toxic bite that is derived from their diet of toxic spiders and insects. The slow loris is classified as endangered, and their trade is illegal. Number 6. African lungfish. Also known as the Tana lungfish, these fish are mostly found in West, Middle, and Southern Africa. These African lungfish do look strange, but have a whole variety of capabilities. This fish can reside both in and out of water. Just how does the fish manage to live on land too, you ask? It turns out that the African lungfish dwells in a habitat that has risks of totally drying up, leaving the animals that live in the water often forced onto land. The fish produces a layer of mucus around itself, and that mucus gets parched into a cocoon, and thus the fish can hang out in the cocoon on land for a whole year. They mostly devour all the random snacks they can find underwater, such as frogs and fish. But when these fish must survive on land, that's where they frequently eat earthworms, seeds, and tree roots. Number 5. Dung beetle. Dung beetles are the strongest living creatures in the world. Well, the male dung beetles can lift up to things that are 1,141 times heavier than their body weight. This can be compared to if a human could carry 80 tons. They are able to build such strength as they keep on fighting with other male dung beetles to find mates, mainly using their horns. Applicable to the name dung beetle, they actually devour the dung or excrement of other animals. They are found on all continents, excluding Antarctica. Dwellers, rollers, and tunnelers are the three main groups of dung beetles on the planet. Dung beetles are not problematic. In fact, in many situations, they help. Through their nesting and eating of feces, they are able to take food away from flies, which are a bigger disturbance and hazardous to humans. Number 4. Snakehead fish. The snakehead fish is local to different parts of Asia and Africa. They can be categorized by their huge mouths, glossy teeth, and long dorsal fins. They are able to roam over land due to being able to breathe with their gills. Although they are local to Africa and Asia, somehow they ended up as a pest species in American water bodies. Before, snakehead fish were legally imported from Asia to America as pets and for food. Thus, it is believed that someone might have let them out into the river. The Potomac River alone consists of over 21,000 snakeheads. These fish leave the water in search of food on land, and they have been seen devouring rodents, water birds, and sometimes snakes too. When the snakehead fish leaves the water, they twitch themselves through their way on land to get to their prey, which they swallow in one go. Number 3. Lammergeier. Lammergeier is one of the oldest vultures on the planet, and the only member of the genus Gepidus. They are also called bearded vultures. This massive species of vulture weighs up to 7 kilograms or 15.5 pounds and has a wingspan between 2.3 to 2.8 meters or 7.5 to 9.2 feet. They mostly dwell in the high mountainous regions of Asia, southern Africa, and southern Europe. Their huge wings allow lammergeiers to glide smoothly above high mountains. Talking about their food consumption, these vultures mostly feed on dead animals and bones. They prefer small bones. However, if they get larger bones, they use a process named the dropping technique. This method involves dropping large bones from a great height onto hard rocks. Once the bones break, they can eat the marrow inside. They don't only use this method with bones, but also for their victims, like hard-shelled tortoises. Obviously, the dropping technique can be risky for humans within the zone if bones or their prey fall on them. Number 2. Arapaima. Also known as piraraku, the arapaima is one of the biggest freshwater fish to ever be discovered to date. It is local to the Amazon River basin, and since it is an obligate air breather, it has to come to the surface for air quite frequently. A story about a mysterious river monster, being the reason for many people's abduction, was told to Jeremy Wade, the host of the TV show River Monsters. And, excited for that, Jeremy went to the river Guyana to find and catch the arapaima responsible. As Jeremy caught that very arapaima, he stated that this was the biggest fish in his long South American fishing career, and a river monster as dangerous as it can be. However, after catching the fish and solving the mystery, he let the arapaima slide back into the river. Such arapaima are endangered species and require additional permission to catch. Hopefully, the discovery put the mystery to an end. Number 1. Japanese spider crab. The Japanese spider crab is a truly gentle giant. These crabs are huge, up to 3.8 meters or 12.5 feet from the tip of one front claw to another. They are also recognized as one of the planet's largest arthropods, animals with many jointed appendages, external skeleton, and no backbone. Japanese spider crabs can often be found on the Pacific side of Japan, stretching as far south as Taiwan. They like to stay at depths stretching from 50 meters to as low as 500 meters, or 164 feet to 1,640 feet. Concerning their eating behaviors, Japanese spider crabs do not hunt, but mostly prefer to collect plant matter or dead animals. From January to April, which is their mating season, Japanese spider crabs tend to migrate to the slight end of their depth range. Japanese spider crab is a fancy food in Japan. However, in order to increase the numbers of these crabs, Japan restricts fishing them during the breeding season. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for watching. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there.